All right. All right. I think we're good now. I think we're good now. All right. Happy Sabbath, beloved. Happy Sabbath. All right. Let's first we want to give honor. Sorry, y'all. First, we want to give honor to the Lord God of heaven, the great God that keepeth covenants and mercies for them that love him and observe his commandments. And then to our King, who is exalted to be a prince, a savior, an apostle, and high priest of our profession, whom the Father used to reconcile us back to him. And we acknowledge him by the Hebrew name Yahushai. And then everybody that's with us, elders, mothers, brothers, sisters, children, even those online, all the partakers of the heavenly calling. We thank God for each and every one of you, right? We are going to now get into Exodus chapter 16. I hope it's 16 the right chapter. Exodus chapter 16. Exodus chapter 16. Let's do a quick recap. In 14, basically, we know that the pillar, the pillar of the cloud was directing us during the daytime, and then at night we had a pillar of fire. So the Lord was showing us that He is guiding us literally, where we're supposed to go. It did get to a point that as we was leaving, even though Pharaoh said he'll let us go, his heart got hardened again, and he went and chased us with his chariots. Everybody know the story. Went into the water. The Red Sea was split. We were walking through it, and his chariots got in there. Then they got stuck, and they got destroyed. Okay, so now we're outside of that. Now, during this time, Moses started to sing. All right, let's go to chapter 15. Okay, because this was basically a lot of it was a song. And songs don't always have to be how we think about like a chorus and then this and that. Sometimes it's just the words is written down. Okay, giving them praise. They put it as a song. So Brother Kai, just read the first two verses or three verses and then kind of skip down.
Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto Yahweh and spake, saying, I will sing unto Yahweh, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. Yahweh is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation. My father's God, and I will exalt him. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name.
All right. So once again, they praise him for what he did, and he's not a literal man. All right, but it's given a little characteristic. They have not witnessed our God like this. Right? He's actually fighting and beating up a nation. Okay, we didn't kind of experience that before. Okay, with our forefathers. So this was something kind of new to us. All right. And so they're going and they're giving God the praise. And we also gave Miriam a shout out, or not us, the scriptures, uh, because she started to uh, do her thing. Where's that? Verse 20, verse 20.
And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances.
All right. And if we talk about, um, people sometimes strive to be leader, to strive to be, great, and usually, they fall short of it. But it's you standing and doing something. Definitely when it comes to the Most High, you trying to be zealous for the Most High in whatever capacity it is, right? Mary wasn't looking for all this praise. I think she just praised the Most High, and just was like the first to, in this one, she went and just started what grabbing that temple. That's what she had, and whatever you find your hands to do it with all your might. And she just praised the Most High. And that thing, what? That thing got contagious. So much what? The other women looking, maybe I should start praising the Most High too, right? And it became a full out praise. And that's the same thing we do now, beloved. Okay, I always tell you, take that initiative. All right, jump out on that faith. You doing that, other people might have that same kind of feeling. They just, sometimes they ain't confident enough to, to do it. But beloved, when it comes to the Most High, don't be scared to, give him the praise. Okay, so we definitely want to acknowledge our foremother, starting that, and the other women. Because yes, she started, but the other women still had a choice. Am I going to sit and be cute? Or am I going to give the Most High his praise? Right. So I know that was a glorious sight to see them, using the timbrel and also dancing. Okay, rejoicing for the Most High. There's nothing wrong with it. Now they're dancing and stuff we see it today. Remember, it's got to be appropriate worship now. But they, they're shouting and doing all those things. That when the Spirit get on you, those things happen. Okay. Okay. All right. So basically, we have to follow the Most High, and if we don't do it, he said he'll start putting them diseases and all that stuff that we escaped out of Egypt. He'll put those things on us. All right. Now that will lead us right into chapter 16. All right. That'll lead us right into chapter 16. Matter of fact, you got to get a point because they started murmuring. Go to verse 23 or 22. That's kind of
So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Marah.
Keep going.
And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And he cried unto Yahweh, and Yahweh showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. When he had made them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. So they're going, they get delivered, they just going through the Red Sea. They seen all these miracles that he put on Egypt, right? You can see all the miracles you want, beloved. That's not going to force somebody to believe. I want us just to understand that realization. They were eyewitnesses seeing all these things that Yahweh did, and they still problem after problem after problem, doubt after doubt after doubt, lack of faith after lack of faith, lack of faith. All right, it was in our mind. So when we're looking at this, they are thirsty, right? And sometimes, beloved, once we start to suffer, there's a time we start getting close to getting on our why, what is our God doing? We start doubting him and all those things. Same thing our forefathers and foremothers do. Okay, but we have to learn from their mistakes. All right, so they murmured against who? Moses. All right, see that he's that almost representative of the Most High. They murmuring at him. What shall we drink? Okay, they not saying it's smooth. They upset with him. Okay, and what? He cried unto Yahweh, and Yahweh showed him a tree. All right, so Most High showed Moses what you do, threw the tree in there, and now that water became sweet. All right. And this was what? To prove them. Okay. A lot of things the Most High do is to prove us. Some things don't even have to be, when I'm saying beneficial, it don't have to be somewhat beneficial to us. Some things can just be because I said so. I want to see if you're just going to do it. Sometimes we get so caught up on why. It has to have this big old breakdown of why. And most times sometimes do share that wisdom, but what about he don't? What about just because he said so? That should be enough. And if we can't get that in our spirit, we're going to have a hard time. Because he didn't say he'll reveal everything. He only give us a glimpse of certain things. But are you not going to serve because you don't fully understand? Or are you just going to be obedient saying, you know what, Lord, you ask it, I do. Who's going to be more just when they come to the kingdom? Lord, I just did what I understood. I can rationalize it in my mind. Or the servant that's saying, Lord, I did it. I didn't understand why, but I understood that you wanted it, so I just did it. Okay? Who's going to be the more just servant? All right. Finish it up, Brother Kai. You can finish it up.
26. And said, if thou would diligently hearken to the voice of Yahweh, thy power, and would do that which is right in his sight, and would give ear to his commandments and keep his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am Yahweh that healeth thee. And they came to Edom, where were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees, and they had camped there by the waters.
All right. So he provided, right? Most High provided like we do. Yeah. All right. Let's go down to our chapter 16. All right. Let's go to our chapter 16. So it's a good thing because you want to build off of that because they just was complaining about the water. All right. And the Most High did provide them with water. Okay. So they ain't died from thirst, I guess. All right. Exodus chapter 16. Let's do give me first 3 verses.
And they took their journey from Edom, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Edom and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
Love it. If we want to understand the patience of our God, boy, these are the books and chapters we have to look at. All right. I get upset just hearing these things and thinking about the Most High and how good he is. All right. But this happens. It's like little children. It happens. All right. Anybody got anything for the first 3 verses? Anything stood out to y'all? Brother Kai, what you got?
Yeah, we see here it's only been a month, since they came out of came out of Egypt or what have you. But even with that being said, the Most High, if they would have said, look, we hungry, Moses, could you please entreat Yahweh for us to give us water and food? Most likely he would have did it, but their whole thing is they're going to go complain or murmur about it. Instead of just simply just humbling themselves and just asking the Most High for what they want. And everything you see every time he always come through for them until he just gonna get sick of it and say, all right, you know what I mean? They coming for me. So, ultimately just, closed mouth don't get fed, just open your mouths, you would think, and they would just pray, ask Moses to go before the Most High, but they refuse to do that, That's it.
Great point. LDS something?
Yeah, these people are something else. Well, we something else. Might as well go and put it the right way. Because, I mean, after the parting of the Red Sea, to see that, you think, what am I going to complain about? He must be taking care of us because Pharaoh's army didn't get us. But every time you turn around and it don't take much, just a little teeny thing, and they guess we should have been back in Egypt. Good thing it ain't me, because I'd have wished them all up in a cloud of dust and threw them right back into Egypt.
Yeah, that's what I say. The Most High is so patient because I don't know, But this is how listen, beloved, this is how foolish things can get, and this is why you be careful who you link up with. All right. I know they all Israel, but what? There was a lot of busybodies we're gonna see in Israel, and a lot got purged. All right, right now he's being patient with them, but it's going to get deadly a little later on. Okay. So we looking at this, beloved, we need to learn from this. Right. And I'm not saying I would have never murmured, beloved, but I want you to understand this is a month. First month, 15th day. This is when they got out of Egypt. And we right here. And remember, beloved, what we just read the chapter before. So when I want you to understand, they got out of Egypt on the first month, 15th day. It ain't even like they didn't see no miracle or anything for 30 days. Remember, They had to travel to the Red Sea. Then they what? Passed through the Red Sea. So within the 30 days, all right, they already seen another, like Elder point out, they walked through the Red Sea. You would think that will hold them over. But well, guess what? Even a little after, they're complaining about water. They just complained about water and the Most High provided. And now they hungry. And you would think, well, he did provide us water. You know, maybe we'll go to him and say, you know, what's up, Moses? Do we got to wait a little longer? You know. But look at how they act. And this is something where, beloved, we lose patience sometimes the Most High, and we'll start to move. Well, he didn't answer me. He didn't answer me. I gave him, you know, 3 days to give me what I need. Well, I'm going to just go and I'm going to go and do what I want to do. I'm going to go and do this because apparently he's not listening to me. He don't hear me. And a lot of times we miss our blessings with that. All right. Sometimes not sometimes you have to be patient and wait on him. Sometimes there's reasons why he's making us wait. All right. But sometimes we want to be rash and, you know, fast with certain things and it hurt us. Okay. But we're going against his will. When we look at this, okay. So they murmured. Listen, they murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. But you understand that's a reflection that you're murmuring against the Most High. All right. Because if he set that leader there for you, they're basically the messenger. All right. So what you're doing to them is basically how you're the treatment of the Most High. Would you have died? Listen to their statements. Would to God we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots and when we did eat bread full? For you brought us unto the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. It was, listen what they said. It was better in Egypt. We were slaves, yeah, but at least we were getting food. Beloved, they were crying in Egypt. This is why he took them out. We was crying out to him. But you see what happened? We so easily forget where God took us out of. And I mean, they literally a month off. I don't know how you can forget that quickly. But this is what they saying to our God. You could have killed us while we were slaves. Why are you going to bring us out in the wilderness just to starve us to death? And we should think about how that sounds. Why would, because the elder said that, why would God do that? Why would I do all these miracles, kill the firstborn, let you go through the Red Sea, destroy their army, get you on the side, and then just kill you? Why would I do something like that? That makes no sense. But you know what, beloved? When you open that door to Satan, right, he's going to what? Try to take over that mind. And things that make no sense will start to make sense to you. Okay? As I say, doubt is a strong thing, beloved. A little bit of doubt is a strong thing. Okay? But when those things happen, when we go through stuff, because this is Satan, that Satan playground, when you start going through something ain't going, everything ain't going right or whatever, that's where Satan try to creep right in. He shows you all the things that's wrong, beloved. That's all you do. Oh, look at it. Yeah, look at that. Look at this. You looking at all your brothers and sisters and you try to side eye them. That's what he wants you to do. But really, the problem is what? Us. Satan, you don't throw that mirror up, right? He always let you see everybody else fall, but he don't throw that mirror up. It says let man examine his own self. All right? Work out your own soul, your own salvation with trembling and fear. But they not getting this right now. Okay. All right, but we're gonna keep going, but just so we can see the characteristics. This is why we take our time. We want to see the characteristics. All right. And believe me, beloved, they are babes. Okay. Should they know better? We can argue they should know better what they're doing, but they're babes. All right. So I'm sure this is why the Most High is being a little patient with them as well. Okay. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right. We are at verse 4. All right, let's do some 2 verses at a time. Let's see how it goes.
Then said Yahweh unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
All right, anybody got anything for 4 and 5?
He was even willing to bless those that weren't going to follow his law. That's what that says to me.
You say he was going to bless those that didn't follow his law?
That part that says whether they walk in my law or no, that means he was going to bless everybody. Those that followed and those that weren't trying to follow. It seems to me that's what that's saying.
I get you saying. So we want to read a little bit up. Let me see. I will rain bread heaven for you, and he is. I mean, your overall point is correct that he's gonna give it to both. People should go out every day at a certain rate every day. All right. Just for everybody to it. So every day he's saying y'all gonna go out and y'all gonna get a certain amount. Because remember what? They're complaining about food. So I told you do 2 or 3. Most High does 2 or 3 things sometimes at one time. So they complain about food, so I'll show it. All right, y'all gonna go out every day. Why? That I may prove them. I'm going to prove you. Prove what? Whether they will walk in my law or no. I want to see if y'all gonna do what I tell you to do. Because, beloved, I want you to understand, some people get caught up at, oh, it's his law. What is God's law, beloved? What's his law and commandment? Where did it start? In Exodus 20? What y'all think? Let's ask that question first. When did the law start? Or commandments? What counts as commandment or law? All right. Let's go to his son. All right. Let's go to his son. Let's quote his son, because he said this to Satan. Matthew's chapter 4. What did I have to do to walk my law? Because there's nothing prior to that you can see where he's talking about, bread come from. This is something happening right then and there. We're talking about walking my laws or no. Okay. Matthew chapter 4, and Brother Kai, read verse 3. Start at verse 3.
And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
All right. So remember, this is when Christ is what? He was hungry, kind of same condition, but you don't see him blaspheming and saying all this stuff against God, right? But he's hungry, and Satan like, listen, ask the Most High to turn this, ask your Father to turn this, these stones into bread so you can eat. All right. Verse 4. Read this carefully.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God.
All right. So man should not live by bread alone, but what? Every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. So once again, when we go here, not making a great point, he is giving that bread to everybody. He's giving what? That opportunity to everybody. This is where what? He reigns on the just as well as the unjust. Because we already know there was some wicked people in here, right? So he is going to see what? I'm going to give it to everybody. And this is going to be what? A proven thing. Okay? I'm going to prove that I may prove them whether they walk in my law or no. What are they going to do, beloved? Are they going to walk in his law or no? I just told them, what was the law? Matter of fact, let me ask that question. What was the law he's talking about? They will walk in my law or no? What's the law he's talking about? That's why I took y'all to Christ saying so we can build off of it. What's the law he's talking about in verse 4? Brother Kai?
Every word that come out of his mouth.
Every word that comes out of his mouth. Okay. So now, we're going to see something a little deeper. We can go further on, but right there, he's telling you. And what? Yahweh, then said Yahweh unto Moses. He's telling him something, right? His command is every word that comes out. So what? Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day. That's the command. That's law. Okay. You know, people say my word is law. Even us as parents, you might say my word is law to your child, right? Whenever I tell you, you need to do it. That's how the Most High is with us. All right. So he's telling them, y'all gonna grab a certain rate every day. Okay. That I what? That I may prove you. Okay. Same thing he talked about in that last chapter. That's why we're going to read the end of it. Remember, he said him do that so he can what? Prove. Okay. The Most High, I want you to understand, the Most High already knows how our hearts is and what we're going to do. Okay. The problem is we don't know. All right. And this is why he has these commands and certain things so you be able to evaluate where you at. Okay. Am I obedient? Do I really love the Most High? Are you doing the things he said? If you are, okay. If you're not, you gotta work on the things he tells us to do. Okay. All right. Walking my laws or no. And you read verse 5 as well? Or was it 3 and 4?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I read it. And it shall come to pass, now on the 6th day they shall gather that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
Okay. And this is the point. Okay. This is the point. Came to pass on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily, because he's really even giving emphasis on a law that's going to come further. What is he trying? What law is can we relate this to? What command can we relate this to? Why is he telling them to gather twice as much on the 6th day? Not you, brother.
Sabbath.
All right. Yes. Remember the Sabbath. Okay. So he's saying, listen, I'm still want y'all to realize that. I still want y'all to see y'all gonna honor it. It ain't disappear. Okay. So I'm gonna provide for y'all. All right. But on the 6th day, all right, they should prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. Why twice as much on the 6th day? Because that's got to last what? 2 days. Prep for what? That day you can't do anything. Okay. So we talk about, even when now you put these things together, we talk about the Passover and everything, and it's talking about, you talk about preparation day, right? You prep for the day you're not going to do, you can't do anything. Okay. So something we could grab from here is dealing with, connected with the Sabbath. Okay. And we'll see as we go down further. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's do 3. Let's do 3.
And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel that even then ye shall know that Yahweh hath brought you out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of Yahweh, but that he heareth your murmurings against Yahweh. And what are we that ye murmur against us?
All right. Anybody got anything for those 3 verses? Or 2 verses? You're 2. Yeah. Anybody see anything from 6 and 7? So once again, he still got Moses and Aaron being that mouthpiece. All right. And they will what? Speak to Israel. So at even, then ye shall know that Yahweh brought you out of the land of Egypt. All right. So he said, you're going to realize something at even. Should they have known this, beloved? Yes. But like I said, sometimes you got to do things to get our attention. Okay. Sometimes what? We said, what is for non-believers? People that don't believe, because apparently they acting like non-believers. What do they sometimes get through the scriptures? What do scriptures say they get?
A sign.
They get a sign, right? Okay. So he's probably going to do a sign for them. Okay. So at even ye shall know, so they can what? They can know. Because apparently them talking Moses doing all that stuff, they not catching that picture. All right. So he's saying you're going to know at even. Okay. So there's something going to happen at even. We're going to pay attention to that. And in the morning, ye shall see the glory. All right. So at even, you're gonna know that I brought you out. And in the morning, you're going to see my glory. For that he heareth your murmurings against Him. All right. He hears you murmuring against him. And what are we? Who's the we? You understand the little transition that just happened? It said, for we hear of your murmuring against Yahweh, and then it says, and what are we that ye murmur against us? Who's this dealing with? Don't think too hard. Go to verse 2, Brother Kai.
And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness.
And what are we that ye murmur against us?
Moses and Aaron.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is Danielle. Get your hand up.
Basically, he's saying, you murmur against me and Aaron, but, everything's coming from the Most High. They should understand that those miracles are not coming from them, per se.
Yes. And this is some of the disconnect. The Most High try to be patient, try to learn stuff. And sometimes when we're first starting this thing, he had to do a lot of things, I'm going to say, in a beginner's level, a carnal level, whatever, and then kind of, goes up. So seeing it, he's using Moses to be that representation of him, right? So they can understand and seeing that, that he's doing the illustrations of the Most High, okay? But sometimes we get caught up in Moses and maybe not even the Most High. But he's still letting them know, Aaron and them like, listen, y'all coming at us. They don't read you murmuring against us. We had nothing to do with this. Okay? But they should also understand, if you ain't coming at him, who you really, your problems with him, with the God. With God that what? Did all those miracles, what we call plagues in Egypt, the one that got you out, that brought you over the Red Sea, that one that just gave you water, really murmuring against us. You should have no problem with us. We just what? The mouthpiece. But your real problem is with what? The Father. Moses, Hawashai, good correlation, right? Because with Christ on the scene, same thing. Problem with me, I'm only doing what my Father told me to do. So if you reject me, who are you really rejecting? The Father. Same thing with Moses. They attacking Moses, going to Aaron and them, but you're really attacking the Most High. And these one of those things when you're in leadership, sometimes people get that way. They start attacking you like it's you. Now, if you now not following the course the Most High have you, it is your fault, right? But right now, we know Moses and them just saying what Most High is saying. But they having a problem with them. It's easy to attack what's right in front of you. Okay? That's something I learned as well. It's easy to attack that right in front of you. Okay? But we have to judge righteously. And when you judging and looking at things righteously, it's not always that thing right in front of you that's the issue. Okay? Okay. All right, Brother Kai, that was 7. All right, let's get 8, 9.
And Moses said, this shall be when Yahweh shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full. But that Yahweh heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against us, him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against Yahweh. And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before Yahweh, for ye have heard your murmuring.
All right. Anybody got anything for 8 or 9? I should have shut up because the answer wasn't 8. Anybody got anything for 8 or 9 stood out to you? So now we see what? At even, remember verse 6, at even you shall know that the Lord had brought you out. How should they know at even? Because what is he doing at even? When Yahweh shall give you in the evening flesh to eat. That's how you're going to know I brought you out, because I'm doing that to show you. All right. Still trying to understand that. Oh, okay, we can look back at that, Elder. Okay. Let me get this part real quick. what's it? Flesh to eat. And in the morning, bread to the full. So that will be linking up with, where's the glory? And in the morning, ye shall see the glory of Yahweh, and that's going with what? You're getting that bread, okay? For that the Lord heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. So he's saying, Most High hearing what you doing. I know you think you're going at them, but he said, no, I heard the murmuring. And what are we? Murmuring against us, but against Yahweh, okay? So basically saying, I heard the murmuring, okay? And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before the Lord, for he have heard your murmuring. All right. You don't want to get that kind of call. All right. They're getting the call to the principal's office. All right. All right. So okay. So I'm just saying that point. Let me see if I can grab another one for you. Do you want to give me your understanding of it? Because maybe I'm looking at it. I might be looking at it a different way.
I don't know, because I don't, whether they walk in my law or no, is that saying, because you hear that, the sun shines on those that are faithful and those that aren't faithful. It rains on both.
Just not.
So is the bread going to fall for, if you're following my law? If you're not following my law, it's still going to fall for everybody. That's what I'm saying, but I don't know if maybe I got it wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's gonna, yeah, that's why I said it will rain on both, on everybody there. But I was saying the whole point that he was trying to grab, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day. That's still a comma, that I may prove them. So what does he try? I'm going to prove when I rain this stuff down every day. What am I trying to prove to them? Whether they will walk in my law or not. Even though it says or no, they're like or not. So I'm going to do this to see if they will listen to me or not. I'm going to tell my children, listen, I want y'all to go to this house and, there's going to be bread there. All right. I'm going to prove them. I'm going to prove and see what, or another word for prove, I like to put it like testing or whatever. All right. I don't like to put it like that because people get all crazy with it. But I'm going to go and test to see whether they will go and do what I say or not. Okay. I'm grabbing the, let me go in the blue letter. And I'm going to pull up where this is in other passages and see if that can kind of disprove it. All right. So this is Exodus 16:4. So we see the King James Version right there. New King James Version, same way. NLT. Look, I'm going to rain down heaven from you each day. People can go out and pick up as much food as they want. So they kind of food in there. Need for that day. I will test them in this to see whether or not they will follow my instruction. NIV. In this way, I will test them and see whether they will follow my instructions. ESV got the same thing, whether they will walk in my law. Yes, walk in my law or not. Whether they will follow my instructions, whether they will walk in my instructions. So it looks like that's kind of the narrative, even with the other translations, that the focal point is whether they will walk in it or not.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Where we at, Brother Kai? Where I left off at. We did
verse 10.
come down. Okay, yes. All right, let's do 10. We can't stop on a comma right there. Do 10 through 12.
And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of Yahweh appeared in the cloud. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, at even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh your power.
All right. So that verse, I'm sorry, anybody got anything? Something I want to add to this. So we're going to see another thing with the glory, because I did mention the miracle, but I also want to make sure this is clear. That verse 10 came to pass. Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, and they looked toward the wilderness. All right. And listen, behold, the glory of Yahweh appeared in what? In the cloud. All right. So they still didn't see everything, they didn't see him or whatever, nothing like that. But that was his glory. He was showing his presence. All right. As we move forward, he will do the same thing when we have the the tabernacle of the wilderness. No, I forget what we called it. But basically that was like our temple, and we kept on moving it. It was like a portable temple, all right. But I just I'm going blank on what we called it. But yes, we had that set up, and what happened? The Most High, he will came down the cloud, and that's when that'll be showing his glory. Okay, so basically almost like a manifesting sign that we can see that he's there. Okay, so we can't see him, he does that. Okay, so they literally was able also to see his glory in that sense. All right, so they know he was in the scenes doing these things. And what he said, I have heard the murmuring of the children of Israel. Right, so he's talking to Moses, saying, at even you see my flesh. So the same thing he kind of been saying. All right, and ye shall what? At even ye shall eat the flesh, in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall what? Know that I am Yahweh your God. You're going to know that I'm your God, right? Because when you think about God, definitely when you in the world, why do people believe in gods and all that stuff? Because you believe that that higher power is a protector, a provider, these kind of things. Even in Egypt, that's why they had certain gods. They'll be providing with certain things, right? So with us, it's like, you're going to know that I'm your God. I'm the one that take care of you. I'm the one that protect you. Okay, and the Most High is literally walking down and showing us. We already seen the protection. It was in Egypt. We seen the strength in Egypt. We see him guiding us through it. And we see him what? Providing for us. Right? So we do see every aspect. And this should be enough, like Elder was saying to be, this should be enough. All right. But listen, beloved, it don't matter if you show them a million miracles. All right. If they don't want to believe, they ain't going to believe. Okay. Anybody got anything from 10 to 12? 10 to 12. All right, Mother Kai, let's keep going.
"13. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as a hoar's frost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, It is manna. But they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which Yahweh hath given you to eat."
All right. All right. So once again, we see the Most High is man, or I would say a God or a power according to his word. Okay. So when even came, right, covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. Okay. What is, I won't say miraculous about it. Yeah, some people will argue that that ain't a real miracle. Okay, quail came. All right, they had quail. What's special about that? How's that showing his power? All right, we got some quail that fell in the camp.
He sent them.
Yeah, that should be enough, beloved. You know what I mean? You ain't getting. Remember, first of all, that's a lot. It's covering the camp. How many people it said was coming out of Egypt? I'm sorry, Mother Val, you had something before I posed that question?
I did.
What?
What came to me was the fact that even though there was quail, you got to realize they were in the wilderness, and it wasn't that they had just enough. They had plenty, so they had more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's what caught my attention.
Yes.
So even after all the murmuring, complaining, instead of God giving judgment on them, He still provided for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if it was around, remember, they're complaining about food. You don't think if they had some quails around everything, they would have came and tried to get them. Must not have been that close to them, right? And I would have to look. But when I was, I think this might be a couple years ago, when I was looking at the quails, I don't think they're like a flocking bird, right? You know, you see like the geese and everything, that you can see like 20 of them flying together. I don't think quails go like that per se. Not sure. So that's crazy in itself. But even if they were, you ain't gonna get that many where you feeding, you know, that many people, right? How many people came out of Egypt? Got to throw out little test questions because we be forgetting. Anybody get the just? It ain't an exact number. Anybody know the just amount? Around what? How many people? But I would say men. I would say men. It gave a number before. We was leaving Egypt. Let's see. Right. We left and passed over Exodus 12. And
600,000.
how many thousand?
600.
I want to say about 5,000-6,000, something like that. Yes. Let me see if I could
37 right there.
You're right. You're right. Yep. 600,000. All right. Children of Israel journey.
Kai did not tell me, y'all.
Yeah, I was gonna say you cheated. All right, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramsey to Succoth, about 600,000. Listen, on foot. This is ones on foot that were men beside children. Okay, so we only know if there's 600,000 men, you know, foot that's going out. You can only imagine if you add in the women and the children. Okay, so it was a lot of people. It ain't that much luck in the world to get that much quail to satisfy that much hunger. All right, it's just a lot of quail that had to come around. Okay, in other passages you can see that the Most High did use. Anybody remember what the scripture said about how the quail got there? What he used? That was a bonus question. I want to say later on. I believe it's an east wind. Use the east wind to push them. I'm not sure if it's in Exodus or it's in another book, but yeah, I believe he used the east wind to push him there. Okay. All right. So he did bring cover the camp with quail. All right. In the morning dew, and in the morning the dew lay around about the host. All right. So we got stuff in the morning as well. And when the dew laid was going up, listen, talking about that morning dew, when that was going up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. So it's a very thin food. All right. It shows Israel saw it, and they said one to another, it is manna. All right. Why do they say it is manna? I asked this about, I'm gonna say like at least a week or two. I feel like I asked this question like 2 or 3 times in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Why is it called manna?
What is this?
Yes. All right. They didn't know what it is. It's basically how we will say, what is it? That's manna. So they're seeing this stuff like, what is this? And you know, we're good at naming stuff after things. So it's like, well, we don't know what it is. So that's what's going to be called. What is it? All right. And it does say in the passage, it's almost like when I've read it, when I used to read all the time, I never put it, connected, but they're actually saying it. Children saw it. They said one to another. Listen what they saying. It is manna. Remember, they're seeing this stuff coming. There's nothing there for them to reference to say what it is. You know what I mean? Think about it, it's this new food. Oh, yeah, this is blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't have a name for it because it's something new. They said it is manna. Why? For they wist not what it was. They said, what is it? Because they didn't know what it was. That's what it's saying. And Moses said unto them, this, listen, now they're getting explanation. Moses said, this is the bread which Yahweh have given you to eat. Like, what the heck is this we see on the ground? And Moses had to go and say, oh, that's the bread, because they didn't know what it was. All right. Let's keep going. We have verse 16.
This is the thing which Yahweh have commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, and Omar for every man according to the numbers of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so and gathered, some more, some less.
Get another one.
And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gather every man according to his eating.
Anybody got anything for those verses?
To me, it seemed like it was gathered according to your household. You know, if you just had a couple people, you didn't need as much as somebody that had 4 and 5 people in that household. So you were allowed to gather as much as you needed to sustain you for that day.
And this is something that we see kind of the Most High doing, you know, when I tell you some of them patterns, right? He give you your need, right? Sometimes we want things ordered at once, but, you know, if you need a lot, there's a lot that you could have had, right? And everybody had enough to satisfy what they needed, okay? Nobody was skimped. Nobody, oh man, it wasn't enough for me today. No, he had enough for everybody. Okay. So everybody went and got their portion and we're good, right? Nobody lacked. Nobody lacked. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Because it's remember kind of same thing. Remember Passover, we were saying, you know, if you had the lamb and you know, if it be too small, I mean too big for the household, you get somebody else, you know. So it's all about that as well. What you got, Other?
Yeah, from what it's reading, they had quail every night for dinner, didn't they?
I used to think about that, but yeah, they were getting this stuff rained down. It was saying, I believe for the meat, it was saying go out every day. If I'm wait up there, I want to mess it up. Yeah, I want to say I thought it was every evening they was getting it. Yeah,
They had quail.
Yeah, I
You know,
think
they had the bread, but at night they had quail. They ate meat every night.
listen, you want to cry to the Lord about we don't got no meat. He's like, all right, I'm gonna give you this. And they have plenty of it. Yeah, don't ask me what recipes they used. I'm sure they could have got creative and made a different way, but you got meat. You want meat? There you go. Okay. So yeah, I can think of. I don't think those scriptures go that it's stopped and everything. And I think when they actually got into the land, scripture actually I think says they got that until they got to the land. I'm trying to think if it was talking about. I want to say it's both, but definitely the manna. I know they had that the whole time. Let me see something. All right, let me no, let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. What verse you at, brother? You read 18 or no, you read 18,
19?
19? Is that not fair? I think 19 would be it. So all right. Exodus
Okay, I'm
16
sorry.
verse 19. You good.
And Moses said, let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning. And it bred worms and stank, and Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted.
All right, we're gonna stop there. This is what we can grab from that. Anybody got anything from 19 to 21? 19 to 21. So leave not of it until the morning. So notwithstanding, they hearken what? Not unto Moses. But who really didn't they hearken to, beloved? We gotta understand.
God.
Most High. All right. No, because Moses ain't have this stuff. Moses ain't doing this. It's God. How do we know they? Because I want to understand that because people say, "Oh, Moses stuff," and we attribute all these things. Listen, if they're a messenger of Most High, it's him. You got it's really going to him. Okay. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, or we know the Most High, but what? But some of them left. How do we know they didn't hearken? Because some of them left of it until the morning. And it what started to do? Bred worms and stink. And Moses was wroth with them, right? Moses was upset with them. And they gathered every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. Okay. What can we get from verse 21? Right? What can we get from verse 20 and 21 as well?
You couldn't lay back and wait for the sun to bake biscuits. That's what. You had to get up and get it.
All right, you gotta go get it. Mother Val, you had something?
Not following directions.
That's his real biggest problem. We don't follow directions. All right. Sometimes we hear direction and we'll make up our own plan and direction and whatever, but we do not follow directions. All right. What you got today, y'all?
It's like they didn't have complete trust. You know, they instead of them getting rid of it by the morning, they stored their extra just in case tomorrow don't come.
That's what I wanted to grab. They didn't believe it every day was coming like that. Why? Because why would I store it if I know I'm going to get another batch the next morning? They store it. You store it for what? We don't know. This guy maybe he might run out of this man. Maybe he might get mad and stop it. So I'm going to hold this just in case. Okay. Once again, it's proving what? Their faith. Everything Most High, it's calculated. I want to what? Prove if they're going to walk in my laws or no. What are we seeing? The Most High already knew some of them wasn't going to follow directions. They wasn't going to trust him, do what he say. So who needed to know that? Because the Most High already know it. We need to see. This is why Moses is mad. He's like, what the heck is wrong with them? I told him everything. This is how it's going to happen. I told him directly, don't do that. Don't gather it. I told you it's going to melt. I already told you. Why wouldn't y'all? And this is how he gets frustrated. And that's what the prophets and them do. They ain't like a lot of them. I mean, some of them will bring, the Most High will go show little mysteries and stuff and futuristic things like that. But the main thing of a prophet is just telling you, listen to the instructions. Do what the instructions told you to do. That's all they be saying. Then God say, do this. Why are you doing that? Then he say, why are you doing this? He said, why are you doing that? And that's the gist of it. If Israel just listened, and beloved, I even say, if they even listened okay, not even great, if they even listened okay, the Most High wouldn't have forsook us. I'm saying in the sense of the things he had to, beat us because we just was acting up. Because we will blatantly go against. It ain't even a little smart. We blatantly go against them. Okay? So once again, showing that what? They didn't trust him. We didn't really see him as our God, right? We looking at it, this is a God right now that's giving us our needs to what we want. And there's a lot of times we get selfish with it. I want to reap all the benefit from my God so I can get and do what I want. And we want that one-sided relationship. I just cry out to him, he give me what I want. And our God, we never build that relationship when you think of it like that. We kind of look at him like a genie. Get my wishes. All right. I make a mess, then I'm gonna cry to him and he's gonna be my genie and fix it. I'm gonna go against his word, make another mess. Then I'll cry to him if I can't handle it or it gets too much. He go and give me another wish. We don't want to have that parameter. I know sometimes we had that in the beginning, but now that we get in this truth and we learn it more and more, we gotta break that, beloved. When he's saying he wants to be our God, that's an intimate thing he's saying. It's a possessive thing. All right, it's a oneness. He's trying to join us. But to be one, beloved, you got to have what? Think about things we're saying. You got to have trust. You got to listen. It sounds good. Oh, we want to be one with God. We want to be, we want to be like Moses. We want to be like Mary. We want to be like this, and this. But guess what? They had to listen. They had to trust. They had to believe. And those seem like small things, the things that why we're not being like some of our forefathers and foremothers that were great. But if we could just do those small things, be just like them. Be just like our forefathers and foremothers, because that's how it was, beloved. He's not putting, the Most High didn't put, oh, well, these are my special. No, he's saying, no, y'all listen to me, y'all all be great. Okay. All right. So it bred worms and it stank. All right. And Moses was wroth with them. And once again, the Most High also showing that I can provide you what your daily bread, literally. All right. Have faith in me. Trust me. I will provide. Okay. Every day. He's literally providing every day. Okay. And the sun waxed and it melted. All right. Let's go to 22.
And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for 1 man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which Yahweh hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe. And that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning.
All right. So once again, now, and this is what we get to, right? Because we talk about I talk about the Sabbath day and keeping holy, right? Beloved, you being disobedient all through the week, Sabbath holy, right? So once again, he's showing that it ain't gonna change with them, all right? So this is where the 6 days, those times you trying to set up, get it right, get these kind of things. All right. But if you ain't listening 6 days, you're probably not going to enter into the Sabbath correctly. All right. So this is where a lot of people ask, the cooking on the Sabbath. This is one of the passages. All right. It is a flip. Some people observe it not, but this is one of the things where he was showing it as a sabbatical principle. Okay. And then when you go to the Leviticus 23 with the feast days, remember, he will say something special about some feast days. He will say it's a Sabbath, but then he'll say what? You can cook on it. All right. So it's implying that was something that was considered work. Okay. So read this again. And it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread. All right. So because definitely going out, gathering it. All right. This is that which Yahweh has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh. And remember, it did not use that same verbiage earlier up in that chapter, right? Did it ever say that? The rest of the holy Sabbath? All right. But he mentioned the Sabbath. So you gotta understand that, beloved. All right. So same thing. So it is the Sabbath. This is why you're going to gather twice as much. All right. That's the important part about the 6th day, is gathering twice as much. Or, beloved, nowadays we got refrigerators, we got all that stuff, so you can gather much earlier. All right. But basically the point is having enough for both. For this instant, they had to do it the 6th day. Why couldn't they do it the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th day, beloved, or the 5th day? Why is it specifically the 6th that they had to do that?
Because the 6th way came right before the Sabbath on the 7th, and he wanted them to obey the 7th-day Sabbath.
Mm-hmm. And what else is happening? What we just read happened. That's the 1 point. I already got the 1 point. 6th day, the next day is Sabbath, so you got to do it. What's the other reason?
He rested.
Right.
Because he rested. The heavenly Elohim, he rested on the Sabbath day, because remember, he created the heaven and earth and the sea, all that therein. And we got to that 7th day, he rested.
Stop.
And that was actually ordained. That's forever to keep.
Absolutely. I just realized I asked the question wrong. All right. The eating part. So Elders is the Robin already answered the Sabbath part. All right. So I'm going to talk about the eating part. Why in this passage specifically is very important. Why he said the 6th day, and he didn't use the 5th or the 4th, or the 1st or the 2nd. Why they literally couldn't do it.
Because each day the bread melted.
There you go. If you try to do it for the fourth day, well, I'm gonna hold this up, and the Sabbath, I'm gonna have a big old feast from all these. No, because with this, remember, it's expiring. You got a certain window to eat this stuff, and then it goes expire. So he's literally trying to show you, just what Sister Robin Elder saying, the impact and the power he's trying to show us for the Sabbath, right? That even this, that every day, remember, it's the same quail, the same manna. But on this sixth day, I put something on it where what? It will preserve. To actually show what? Sabbath day is actually a preserving. It can hold it over. It got, I won't say special power to it, but it's anointing on it. It's a sanctification on it. All right? The Most High literally trying to show us that as well. You don't understand why he throwing this in there. I want them to understand it. Remember, they're coming out of Egypt, so some stuff they not fully getting, but he wanted to put that emphasis so they know this is special unto me. God said, this is special to me. This is my Sabbath that I put in place. And really, the benefit is for who, beloved? I hear a lot of people messing this all up. Who's the benefit of the Sabbath for?
Us.
Us. People the most, I just want y'all to understand, the Most High ain't like he needs the rest. Ain't like he gets tired. Anything like that. Think about this. Sabbath was made for us, beloved. How many of us would have been complaining if we had to work every day? What do we cry about? We cry about working 5 days of the week, 4 days, you know? Man, we just need a break, right? The Most High already knows and put it in place. It's for you. He'll be fighting. I want to go do. You cry all the time that you need a break. He put a break in there, and now you want to work on the day that's a break. We want to do the most on the day that we're taking a break. No, you need that, beloved. Mentally, you need a break. Physically, you need a break. Recalibrate yourself. All right. And they even learning that with even like exercise and stuff. They will say, oh, you need a rest day. They don't, of course, put on the Sabbath day all the time, but they'll choose it. But they understand the power of your body needs to rest. Now, the creator of our bodies would know our bodies, wouldn't he? You can burn yourself out. Right? Mental stress. You have to take a break. The Most High have set that for his people. Okay. People just started to catch up and understand some of the importance of it. But even if it wasn't no important, the Most High said it. That should be enough. But also he's letting us know. Okay, beloved. So this is that which the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh. Bake that which ye will bake today. So you make your stuff that you're gonna make for tomorrow. You do that today. And seethe that ye will seethe. Cook what you're gonna cook today. All right. And that which remaineth over, lay up for you to be kept until the morning. All right. So he's saying you're gonna do twice as much, and then what? You'll eat your portion today, and you'll have your portion for tomorrow. All right. And I didn't even understand, that's why it's good to, have a body in different perspectives. Because some people don't realize like cooking can be a lot. I know I'm gonna get tired and listen, I ain't doing that tonight. We're gonna order out or something like, because it can be a lot. And sometimes the sisters, or I ain't gonna take just men might cook too, but sometimes they'll know, the burden behind that. It could be a process. And we got a lot of veg. We go to the store, we pop in, we can do all that. But definitely, back in those times, not having all that luxury to do all those kind of things. Okay. Then when you got family, you got other people, so it could be a lot. Okay. So he just want a day where, listen, you relax, you don't have to worry about anything. Kick your feet up. Okay. And this could be a day you can just dedicate what? On me. So Most High have a set day that you can dedicate to him. Because sometimes the week get busy. Sometimes you got to work hard. We got to do things, beloved. Okay. And sometimes you get caught, oh man, I have no time and everything. But we can go to that Sabbath and say, okay, I got set time. All right. So once again, that'll be kept to the morning. Verse 24, Brother Kai.
And they laid it up till the morning as Moses bade, and it did not stink, neither were there any worm therein. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto Yahweh. Today ye shall not find it in the field.
That's an important part. All right. Eat that today. For today is what? The Sabbath unto Yahweh. Once again, and Sister Robin, right on the money, said he did this from the beginning. So what is he still showing here? I'm still resting right here. Because remember, who's giving us this stuff every day? It's him. So we still not in that power. I'm not going to give you nothing Sabbath day. Nope. All right. I give you twice this day. I'm going to still take care of you. All right. But you're not getting it today. All right. This is the Sabbath unto our God, beloved. All right. And like I said, if people have different faiths, then no, it's not important to them, right? They were serving other gods, right? They might have their holy day, whatever. But unto our God, the true God of the universe, right? If you come into this fold, no matter what if you submit into this God of the Bible, this is now, you need to understand that that's the holy day. Okay. And yes, every day you're supposed to keep holy, but every day wasn't the Sabbath day, beloved. You know, people try to grab that. And the easy thing when they say, oh, every day is the Sabbath day. All right, if you can't work every day or this kind of stuff, what's going to happen? That's why it's not the Sabbath day in that sense. You got to make sure you have understanding what you're saying certain statements. Okay. So yes, you live holy every day. That didn't, he didn't just start that when Christ comes. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, y'all should be living holy every day. They knew they supposed to be living holy every day. Okay. But he set it apart. Okay. This had nothing to do with us. Most High set it apart before man was even, he already had this plan before man even came on the scene. We even gave breath and life into him. The Most High had this plan for us. All right. This day set aside. All right. Anybody else got anything for that before we move on? So some people go with this and say, I might have ran across it, but when they go on with the, oh y'all, you can't do the killing of fire, that means you can't have heat on, that means you can't take a hot shower, that means you can't drive your car because it has what do you say, a spark or something, all right? And it might sound good for, I would say, the uninitiated, or no, those are good things, all right? But we have to make sure we have an understanding. What is he specifying in this passage? What is he connecting the two? That's dealing with eating. You don't have to cook. He is not telling you it's freezing, you can't have a fire to stay warm. He's not dealing with that. Okay? He's specifying the cooking. All right. Now, of course, there is an example when somebody grabbing sticks at it. Yes, because that will fall under the working aspect. And that's showing what? You failed to prepare for the Sabbath. See, we talk about the Sabbath. That's why I say it's a lot of different little things. Are you preparing for the Sabbath? That's a part of keeping it holy. All right. If you still got a Sabbath, you didn't prepare for it. It wasn't on your mind. Okay. So I'm going to go to Kindle of Fire. It might be the same. I think it's like 30. Let me make sure it should be in Exodus, but I'll make sure I'm not mixing up with another book. It's like 32 or 33. That was Exodus 32. Oh, 35. All right. Exodus chapter 35. Yeah, I just start studying, not, going back and forth with people. So I start to lose memory of some of these verses I used to go to. All right. So Exodus chapter 35, start at verse 1.
And Moses gathered all the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which Yahweh have commanded, that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to Yahweh. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
So when we're talking about that and dealing with that, that is dealing. This is why we said we connected with the aspect that he's dealing with here. That's the connecting the 2 points, right? Of the Sabbath. Is dealing with. Now, listen, I do want to make sure. Now, when the brother was going and grabbed those sticks in Numbers 15, you do not do that because what? That was a work on the Sabbath. So he was definitely in violation, all right? Failed to prepare, okay? But we're talking about dealing with the cooking, right? They will have fires, they will have certain fire stuff going on. Remember, you can't see at night, all those kind of things, beloved. Fire have different sources, okay? So we're dealing with it. We connect it to the cooking aspect, all right? All right. Back to number 16. And where do you leave off at, brother?
Verse 26.
All right. I want to make sure. All right, verse 25. I just want to read verse 25. And Moses said, "Eat that today, for today is the Sabbath of Yahweh. Today ye shall not find it in the field." All right. So you tell them literally, y'all not going to find it. All right. Trying to let us know, don't break it. I'm not even going to tip y'all. I have it out there because I already know how y'all going to get. See how the Most High do things for us. I know you're going to want to go and get it. I'm telling you, I'm not even going to have it out there because best believe, beloved, if he rained it, and he should have been able to rain that Sabbath day, and we should have been disciplined enough to be like, nope, I know it's not there, but I know it's out there, but he told us not to go. But sometimes you got to do certain things for us. And we got to make sure we even identify that in the scriptures. All right. But let's keep reading. We'll see what I'm talking about.
6 days ye shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass that there, and it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, but they found none. And Yahweh said unto Moses,
let's stop right there. I can hear Elder when he said in the beginning, I'm ready to throw them right back to Egypt. Listen how hard-headed we are, beloved. Like when people talk about righteousness, I want you to understand this book is very small. If we really understand, it gets very small. He just wants to listen. This ain't like you have to learn some algebra. That's not what the Most High. He desired for none of us to be lost. Why would he make it hard? Men, we sometimes get in our little mind everything, and we sometimes make things overly complicated. But it's a very simple thing. All these things is to prove us whether we what? We will walk in his law or not. Basically, will we be what? Obedient. Our God is teaching a lesson through this thing, beloved. What kicked us out of the garden, beloved? I have to make this point. You said disobedience, right? Disobedience kicked us out of the garden. What do you think the Most High is going to do to now for us to get back in? What do you think we have to do to get back in? Disobedience kicked us out. What do you think can get us back in to the garden?
Obedience.
Simple, right? Disobedience got you out. Obedience probably gets you back in. What would have kept them in the garden? If they obeyed, they would have stayed. It'd been good. So disobedience gets you out. All this trial run that we're doing is just to see if you will obey. If you obey, that's it. Don't matter what it is, just obey. That's all he's trying to teach us. The spirit's what? Obey his word. If you can obey the Most High, beloved, what else can he ask for you? Think about that. What do you ask of your children? What will be I'm talking about a righteous parent, right? Y'all righteous parents. What do you want your children to do? How will they be perfect in your eyes? What do you think they have to do?
Be obedient.
Be obedient. Listen. You just want that child to listen to you. It's like, it's good. Have fun, everything. Just be obedient. This is why he brings this dynamic of father, children. He's trying to show us those kind of carnality so we can understand the spiritual principle. I just want y'all to listen. Y'all be my children. He said, I want to be your God. Ain't a one-sided thing where we begging and Lord, I want you. He's saying, I want to be your God. I put out my arms first to you. He said, I loved you. I cleaned you up. I want you to be mine. It shouldn't be hard if the other person wants you. I understand if he didn't want nobody and we had to prove he ain't doing that. He said, I want you to be mine. He just can't force you to love him. But boy, he shows a lot of things to compel us to love him. He makes a great argument through the scriptures that it's in our best interest to love him. But he said, I just can't force you. It's when sometimes that choice, I mean, some people love, oh, we got choice, you know, yeah, you got a choice, but sometimes that's the danger part because you can choose the wrong thing. All right. So I want to get through all these things. We see things, beloved, it's just what we obey. We get the conclusion of the whole matter. This is why Solomon says that the wisest man, right? He said, fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. Right? He concluded, he said, in conclusion of everything I said, all this wisdom I said, fear God and keep his commandments. That's the whole duty. That's all you got to do. And that didn't change. Fear God and keep his commandments. Obey your God. That's all he has as your duty. And all we're doing week by week, we're just trying to compel one another to make sure we are being obedient to the Most High God. That's it. All right. And once you robots all strict, I can't do that. No, he wants very free. I know some people teach that like you can't do. No, he wants you to have fun. Have clean fun. Make sure you're not going against my word. If you're not doing it, have fun. All right. He's a loving God. He wants us to be happy. Just like with our children. We want our children to be happy. We just want them to make sure they're listening and they're not doing nothing that's going contrary to our law. Right. That's all the Most High have for us. Okay. All right. Where we at, Brother Kai? You talking a lot.
Verse 28.
All right.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws?
And you see that? See that to Moses? What? How long? How long are y'all going to refuse to do what I say? I think that's going to change. Then he brought Christ to say, you know what? Y'all just do whatever y'all want. I'm gonna let y'all be disobedient. I'll clean it up. Don't worry. Just do whatever y'all want. All right, that sounds ridiculous, right? But this is what the Most High said. How long are we going to refuse to do what he's saying? Okay. How long y'all going to not trust me? How long are you going to think that I don't have your best interest at heart? Realize we be disrespecting the Most High sometimes, beloved. He said, you don't trust me? All right. It's easy not to trust somebody I don't trust you, so I ain't gonna listen to everything. But if we think the Most High God have our best interest and he knows, it should be easy for us to trust him. Okay. Even this is what I'm saying with trust. Even when you don't understand certain things, beloved, you still trust. Some people think trust. Well, I gotta understand. I gotta see it. I trust that he have my best interest at heart. So even when my mind can't understand why I'm doing this, I'm having faith on, I know he's doing it what's best for me, even when I can't understand it. Even where I can't see the end road, I believe he's taking me to the right destination. That's the mindset we have to have going forward when we serving the Most High. Because everything, he ain't going to show you the path. He tells you there's a goal, and then he shows you the next step. And sometimes that's all you get. But we want to see where all the steps takes us to that goal. No, that's why we got faith. Like, I'm not showing you step 20. You need to worry about the step right in front of you. But if you keep taking that step, that next step that the Most High is giving you, guess what? You're going to get there. Okay? But if he showed us the whole path, we'd probably mess it up anyway. All right? So sometimes it's our best interest not to know the direction. All right? Because we will jack it all up. All right? Absolutely, Elder. It takes that faith. And people don't understand it. That's the whole journey is faith. Would you do it just because he said so? Or you let somebody go and try to smooth talking out of you? Right? You don't got to be wise. I'm doing a Sabbath. Well, listen, brother, sister, you got to listen. See, that's what's wrong with church people. Y'all listen. I don't got to listen to you. They try to make rules for us. I want y'all to realize that how they go, oh, see, that's what's wrong with church people. Y'all don't want to listen to nothing. Y'all don't want to listen to reason. I don't want to listen to you. I serve the Most High God. I'm a servant of him. I just do what he said. And anybody that is trying to get me to do anything outside of that, the Most High never told me I have to entertain it. See, people try to get you to entertain the foolishness. Most High never tell you got to entertain it. Nobody, Most High never tell you got to understand and learn all these heathen practices and their gods. See, that's man do. I want you to realize man been teaching some dangerous stuff. So much I even got into some of the follow. Like, I got to learn this. I don't got to learn Egyptology. Where we see that in the scriptures? You need to learn about that. No, you never. Man wants you to, you got to learn this so you can know how to debate it. I don't have to know how to debate it. I don't have to fight it. I'm not entertaining it. See, we entertain stuff, and that's when we get caught up. But the Most High ain't tell you to start entertaining stuff. This is one of the Satan's devices. Okay. Yeah. Elder getting to Hebrews 11, 1-6, dealing with that faith. Okay. All right, Brother Kai, where I cut you off at?
We're on verse 29.
Okay.
See, for that Yahweh have given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day.
Mm-hmm. And read 31. Then we'll go to Elder Spot.
And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like coriander seed white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. And Moses said, this is the thing which Yahweh commanded. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I fed you in the wilderness when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt.
All right. So that's dealing with the manna. All right. So they described how it was, even it tastes like. All right. So I'm just going to go to the Elder's passage, Hebrews chapter 11, real quick. Everybody should know this one, have it in their arsenal. All right. Brother Kai, let's read 11 and verse 1. Take out some other spots.
Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
And this
For
is
by
going
it,
yeah. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of what? Things not seen. So if you can see it, it's not faith. All right. This is why I say sometimes the journey, right? You can't see every step of the journey. Ain't faith. But he's showing you one thing at a time. And your faith is trusting that you'll get there. Jump down to that verse 6.
but without faith, it is impossible to please him. He that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Without faith, it's impossible. It's a strong word, beloved. And there's no way. Without faith, it's impossible to please him. We have to have faith to please him. For those that come to God must first believe that he is. He's what? He's your God. He's trustworthy. He'll provide all those things. And that he's a what? A rewarder. Not just that he is. And also you have to understand that he rewards them that what? Seek him. Are we seeking him? Because to seek him, you need what? Faith. Because what? You can't see him. This is why you need faith. You're not going to be able to see this God. All right? So he's the substance. All right? We hope to please him. No, we can't see. The Sabbath is a faith, beloved. So I say people don't understand the fullness. It's a faith. The sun rises the same way. on the first day, second day, third day. It's not rising the same way. It goes up, it goes down the same way. What gives it that emphasis? Why do we acknowledge it? Because we have faith that it pleases the Most High. Why can't people rationalize that? Because they don't believe. Right? Maybe if the days did something different on the Sabbath, maybe if the sun turned orange or something, or I don't know, some crazy purple on the Sabbath, maybe some people might jump to that. Right? But that's a clear thing. Okay, well, yeah, it's clear. But even then, people will still justify that. That won't fix people. All right. But everything that we're doing is dealing with that faith. And everybody can't receive that. Okay. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 8. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 8. Deuteronomy chapter 8 and start at verse 1 and read down to 3.
All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which Yahweh sware unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which Yahweh thy power led thee 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no.
Oh, we see that same verbiage, right? When you what? Commandments that I commanded today, which you deserve to do. All right. When I what? Told your forefathers to leave when they was leaving out. Okay. And the reason for what? These commandments, and to observe them, beloved, what? That ye may live. Look what he's giving these commandments and things for. That we may live and multiply, meaning even for our generations after us, and go and possess the land, which he what? Swore to our fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which Yahweh thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness. You're going to remember that. We need to remember that whole journey, right? Because this is part of the journey that we're reading about in Exodus 16. To what? To humble thee. This should keep us humble. Okay? And to prove thee. What's the proving that he's trying to do, like we read in 16? To know what was in God's heart? Is that what Brother Kai read?
Thine
Right.
The proof was to know your heart. People are like, oh, we have to prove to God. No. He's proving what's in your heart. Hear people say all the time, what? God knows my heart. God knows my heart. Yes, he do know that filthy heart. Do you know it? How are you going to know your heart? Most High put these commandments and stuff there. Are you going to do it? Nah, I ain't going to do that. God, I'm making some excuses. So, okay, there go your heart. You don't love him. But if you love me, you'll what? Keep my commandments. If your heart is about loving me, you'll do what I say to prove them, to know what was in their heart. Whether, how do you challenge that heart? Whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or not. I want you to know if you obey me or not, if you trust me or not, if you love me or not. Okay? If you're going to be faithful to me or not. All these things. Read verse 3.
And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh doth man live.
Oh, read that earlier. Look how good God is. Now we see where Christ got that line from, what he used against Satan. There it is. So he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger. He wanted you to hunger so what? He could show his power in feeding you. All right? Which thou knewest not. You didn't even know what that was. Neither fathers. That he might make thee know what that man doth not live by bread only. Let you know it ain't the bread that sustains you. It ain't that keeps you. All right? But it's my word. My word sustains you. My word provides for you. My word protects you. It's his word, beloved. They ain't caught up on the food. The food ain't going to do nothing for you. It's my word, because it's what? It's his word is spirit. Okay? So, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh doth man live. This is how you're going to live. Okay? It's his spirit that he gives us, the commandments that he gives us. They bring that life. They bring that preservation. And he's showing us in a, I want to say in a carnal aspect, right? But in a literal sense, so we can understand that. His word literally. Because through his word, through his spirit, the quail rained down. Through his spirit, the manna came. He was showing us that my word is what provides. Because just like he can give it, beloved, what happens? He can take it away. So that's why he's saying y'all putting your faith in the bread like y'all think y'all doing it. Nah, y'all ain't doing it. You think the grocery stores is providing for you, beloved? Let them hit some famines, and you're gonna see that ain't where it's at. You think it's your job? You think you did that? You think you got the job because of you? Let them take that favor away, and you'll be fired tomorrow. It's his word in the spirit, beloved, that we are not consumed. Okay. All right. I ain't going to the other one. Let's finish this.
33. And Moses said unto Aaron, take a pot and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before Yahweh to be kept for your generations. As Yahweh commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is a 10th part of an ephah.
All right. So he did feed us, and like I said, he kept that. And that's why I said the past say manna. But I'm still thinking the quail was still happening there because they probably still was crying about it. But nonetheless, he fed them until they got to the land of Canaan. Why? Because when they had Canaan, he already blessed it for us to eat there. So this was just something to preserve us until we got there, and then we live off the land of Canaan. Okay. So like I said, the Most High have it all mapped out. But what he's trying to show us before we got to that promised land, right? He was trying to teach us a principle. That is him that's doing it. Don't forget this. Why, beloved? Because he know when we got in that land, what we was going to do? Forget. Forget what he did to us before we got there. And this is the same person aspect we going through. And, we're kind of in the wilderness now. He's trying to what? Purge us and prove us. All right? Until he comes back and restore. Okay? So once again, beloved, let this be another lesson. Let us be encouragement to keep going, to continue being obedient to the Most High God, because we know there's a reward and we know there's so many benefits that he gives us. All right? Every day, there's so many benefits that we get from the Most High. All right? So we want to thank him. We want to give him honor and praise. Anybody have anything they wanted to add before we close out? All righty then. All right. We will end it.